In this video, I want to talk about the 4 main categories that all leads fall into, how to reach leads in each of those categories, and how to close photo and video deals so that you can turn those leads into clients. If you're struggling to find clients, the biggest problem is that people don't know you. I've talked to a bunch of photographers, and I've brought up Peter McKinnon in a lot of conversations. I'd say half of them don't even know who he is. If you're here watching YouTube photography videos, you probably know that he has over 6 million subscribers. So don't be too discouraged if your network is too small. Focus on growing that network, and that's where these lead categories and some of this outreach stuff helps. Now, before we get into any of this, I want to share a little secret. None of this is easy. There's a lot of rejection, a lot of failure. You get ghosted, you get underbid, deals fall through. It's tough to not fall into the trap of comparing yourself to other photographers or your competitors that you see online or on social media. Just remember, what you're seeing there is a highlight reel. If you go look at my Instagram, it looks like I'm shooting pretty cool work pretty consistently, but I haven't shot anything fun in the last 3 months, and work has really slowed down over the winter, and I'm struggling to pay some bills. So if you're feeling defeated, just keep going, keep learning, keep improving. You can only fail if you quit. All right, let's talk about leads. Before you have any clients, you need some leads that might buy your services. I stole these 4 lead categories from Alex Hormozy. I highly recommend his first 2 books about crafting an offer and about getting leads. Tons of great info in there. But you have 2 types of leads, warm leads and cold leads. Warm leads, they know about you, they kind of know what you do, but they haven't bought from you. And then cold leads, you're a complete stranger. They have no idea who you are, that you exist, or what you do. And then you have 2 ways to reach those leads. You can either reach out to them one-on-one or one-to-many, and that creates these 4 categories. This first category is warm leads one-on-one. These are your friends and family and people that already kind of know you and know what you do. This is a great place to start because there's already a little bit of trust there. And if you're asking friends and family to refer you to people that might need your services, even that intro can help warm up an otherwise cold lead. The hard part here is that you do have to ask. You have to remember that everyone is living their own life with their own problems, and even if they know you're a photographer, if an opportunity pops up, they just might not think of referring you. It's happened to me where I've asked a friend that got a new job, hey, do you think your company would be interested in some marketing videos? And he completely forgot that that's what I did. He was super excited, and now we're getting pretty close to actually closing a deal, working with his company, shooting some video work. So you just have to ask. All right, let's move down to warm leads one-to-many. And in this box, we have content. Posting free content online, Instagram, YouTube, you're reaching a bigger, warm audience than the one-on-one contacts. But some of the downsides here, you are at the mercy of algorithms, and you kind of have to find a good balance of selling and just posting useful, valuable content, or just posting your art so that people can see what you can do. And finding that balance can be kind of tough. Let's move over to cold leads. Starting with cold one-on-one, you have cold calling, cold emailing, and lately I've been doing some cold in-person prospecting where I just walk into a business and ask if I can share some of my work, and if they need anything, I leave a card behind. Some of the pros of this method is you're constantly expanding your network. Every new person that you show your work to, maybe they don't need something right away, but you're getting more and more eyes on your work, and that's always good. Some of the cons here is that there is a lot of rejection. A lot of people don't like being approached cold. For me, it seems like the in-person stuff has been working a lot better. People are actually pretty friendly, and I've had a lot of people thank me for coming in person instead of just calling. But I did a huge cold emailing campaign for a few months, and it was kind of successful. I actually have a few long-term clients from it, but it was pretty brutal. I got a lot of pretty ugly email replies from that, and every day I just felt kind of gross blasting out these cold emails. I really didn't like it, so I shut all that down. Another major con of this is that it takes up a lot of time, just all this outreach and finding who you're going to call, who you're going to email, researching the company, all of that stuff. It's all very time consuming. And the last category is cold one-to-many, and that's paid ads. The pros here, you're going to get your work in front of cold leads, but obviously there's some risk here. You have to spend money. And if you're not getting a good return on your ad spend, you're losing money. So there is a bit of a learning curve figuring out which ads work and how to scale that to get more and more leads coming in. And then you still have to turn those leads into clients, so your sales skills have to be good. Once you have leads coming into your business, you still have to sell to them. I'm not a very pushy salesman, and I don't have a ton of tips for you. I'm still learning. It's something I've really been working on for the past couple years, but I would recommend that you study sales as much as you can, books and videos, and kind of build your own strategy that works well with your personality. You need to be able to clearly explain the value that your work brings and why people should give you money for it. And that's not an easy thing to do. It takes practice. One thing I have learned about sales in the past couple years is that it's a numbers game. You're going to hear a lot of no's before you hear a yes, and so you need to find a good balance of quantity versus quality. I don't like approaching cold leads completely blind. I'll at least look at their website, look at their social media, and see if I could offer any improvements, see if they could use better photos, better videos, and then I'll approach them and share what I do. If there's no effort at all and their website is terrible and they're not doing anything on social, they're probably not going to pay me for photos and videos. They just don't seem to care about media. So it's not really worth me wasting my time going to visit them. So there's kind of this middle ground of, I can tell that they care about their business image, but they need a little help making it look better. And that's where I come in and try and share some of my services. Before I go, I want to go over a couple of mistakes or bad habits when you're running a photo and video business. Mistake number one is thinking that if you do really, really good work, clients are just going to come flowing in. That may happen for some people, but definitely didn't happen for me. I spent years trying to improve my craft, thinking once I get this good, then it'll be easy to get clients. And it took me a long time to figure out that that just wasn't true. I really had to shift my focus and learn about the business stuff. And I had to put my work out there with the intention of selling. I had to talk to clients. I had to tell them why what I do can bring value to their business. Mistake two is easing up on your marketing and your lead generation when things are going well. This has happened to me more times than I want to admit, but I'll get a few big jobs, things are going good, or I'll have a couple repeat clients, and I kind of start slacking on marketing and I don't have new leads coming in. And then something happens. I had one really good client last year. I knew they weren't going to go to some other photographer because there was a ton of red tape to get in their system so that they could pay me. Everything was good. And then at the end of last year, the company restructured. They got rid of their marketing department and everything that we had planned was gone. And that was going to be a big chunk of my income for this year. We had some 5-figure projects planned and I did work with them pretty consistently, almost every month. And so that was a pretty big hit for that to disappear and then not have new leads coming in. So no matter how confident you feel in your business, you always want some leads coming in. You just never know what's going to happen. And then the last bad habit that you need to avoid is slacking on customer service and customer retention. It's always easier to work with a client that you've worked with in the past than to try and find a new client. So make sure that you're delivering, you're communicating, make sure your clients are happy with you so that they keep coming back. Because it's tough finding new clients, it's tough selling new people. So you really want to keep everyone that you have. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Hopefully some of this stuff was helpful. Good luck landing those clients. I'll catch you in the next video.